What? Coming soon doesn't mean in a month where you're from? Charles Barkley, Shut Up and Jam Gaiden, Chapter 1 of the Hoops Barkley Saga, or Kupusuajigakuthbs, as it's lovingly called, was a freeware game made by Tales of Games Studios, a collection of a development forum's members who decided they wanted to make a game. This game is canon. Well, that's good to know. Wouldn't want to confuse it with the Ultimates universe.
The year is 2053. Basketball is dead. In 2041, basketball was made illegal.
Oh no, basketball is outlawed? This is the darkest timeline. Scariest game of all time. Barkley's son, Hoops? Okay. He wants to show his dad some new moves. Oh yeah, the turn into MS Paint Boy and hop around like a possessed child move. That's very useful, very tough to guard. We're introduced to Balthios, the Octoroon. Octoroon? Great-grandson of LeBron James? As in 1/8 mixed race? Or 1/8 LeBron James blood? Are they using basketball players as an allegory to racial classifications? Jesus Christ, so much information. Some person named Hellbane is connected to some organization named Blood Moses. This game is getting a little hard to follow. Okay, it's all here. What does it mean? What does it mean? What does it mean? Michael? Michael Jordan? It's his Royal Highness. It's Black Jesus.
I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. I think about it every night and day.
Oh, so Jordan's the bad guy in this game, huh? That actually makes sense. As good a player as he was, and as respected as he was among his peers, I could see many viewing him as a villain. He was ruthless and downright diabolical at ripping out the hearts of his opponents. He makes a particularly great foil for Barkley, since Barkley was, usually the second best player in the league, and, he never won a championship. I'm rambling, aren't I? Look, there's going to be a couple of basketball-related things in this review, so how about when I make a basketball reference, I put up the word reference. That way, even if you don't know the basketball aspect of it, you can still pretend to laugh, just like everyone else, you filthy conformist. So here we go, the game was opening up and we're starting our journey. I think now would be a good time to find a save point. Here, let's see if this little thing over here is one. What in the fuck? Why is there a crazy troll rant about video games and how the Japanese are so superior? That was weird, but hey, yeah, it's a save point, so. Alright, let's poke around the city a little bit. Yay, exposition! Oh, so Barkley is the reason basketball is banned. Oh, cool, a store! Whoa, that's a little bit racist. Oh, a church? I guess in about 30 years we'll give up on the whole current major religions thing and just start over. It's Larry Bird! So, another Chaos Dunk levels Manhattan, and 3 guesses who gets blamed for it. What? Holy shit, QTEs? I died because I absolutely wasn't ready for that. Wow, Kurt Cobain looks a little darker and rounder and balder than I remember him. Oh no, we're cornered. Whoa, oh shit! My man threw 3 fireballs when he made his entrance. I wish I could make an entrance like that. So this mysterious figure is actually the ultimate Hellbane, but he's a good guy? I feel kinda like I'm watching a K-drama. Hellbane gives us these Battler's tones, which explain the basic mechanics for us. We've got status effects like Montezuma, Glaucoma, Asperger's, Diabetes, oh no. And the game explains what stats affect what, and other generic info. And you know what that means? It's time to try the combat of the game. The combat is pretty fun. There are action elements to it that help switch up the pace of the game, much in the vein of a Super Mario RPG. There are action commands tied to the normal attacks of each character, and each character has different actions. For example, Barkley attacks with his basketball. To do a normal jump shot, you use the D-pad. You hold up and release to attack normally. You hold up and forward to increase your attack power but decrease your guard, and you hold up and back to decrease attack power and increase your defense. That's only one of his normal attacks. Almost all characters you control have 3 attack types that all come with completely unique attack commands. It is here that I must raise an issue with the combat in this game. It's just way too easy. I died only twice throughout the entire game, and both times were in non-combat situations. Now, I am by no means a turn-based RPG master, in fact I'm quite the opposite, yet I breeze through this game. As long as you keep an eye on your party's health and manage your status effects, not even the final boss will be a problem for you. It is fun to play, but this aspect makes it feel a little bit more like a walking simulator than a full RPG. And while we're on the subject of issues that I had with this game, I have another one that I'd like to raise here. While the recording software that I use recorded music about 75% of the time I recorded, I could not for the life of me get music to play through my system. So I had to play the whole game listening to this. Oh shit, it's Scott Foster. Oh wow, now we're gonna fight Kobe Bryant. Looks more like a gorilla? I'm still not sure if this game is racist or not. Our heroes run into the ghost of LeBron James, who sends us on a quest, and we get LeBron's basketball, which Barkley can equip as a weapon later. It's also revealed that Hellbane is Balthios. Oh look, it's half man, half amazing Vince Carter.
I believe I can fly. Woo. I believe I can touch the sky.
Or at least a cyborg version of it. Well, he's definitely half man now. As you can see, the characters in this town are borrowed sprites from other material, more specifically Hanna-Barbera legends like Yogi Bear, Huckleberry Hound, Jabberjaw, fucking Jabberjaw? What a deep pull. Why not Boo from the Funky Phantom? That was another Hanna-Barbera mystery solving cartoon. It's the one that had the ghost and the cat ghost. As you can see, this is a pretty silly game. It's got ripped sprites, silly attacks, and so on. What the fuck? Jordan is another issue that I have with this game. See, the game takes itself very seriously, and that's part of the joke of it. It's such a silly concept, but the characters act like they're in a soap opera. They legitimize their world, which makes it funny. But Jordan's just a little too real in his violence. He feels a little bit more like a sociopath, and out of place with the soap opera aesthetic of the rest of the game. I do find it interesting that Jordan looks suspiciously similar to Michael Jackson. And by similar, of course, I mean they ripped the sprite directly from Michael Jackson's Moonwalker. Oh, and also, Vince Borg defects and turns out to be evil because he was created to destroy Hoops, who turns out to be the chosen one and not Barkley. You know what? Fuck it. It turns out Blood Moses was behind the second attack and is planning something devious. The main quest becomes one to find out who is behind Blood Moses and stop whatever they're planning by finding an ultimate B-ball like the one that took the players' powers in Space Jam. Space Jam is canon. This quest is where the game goes pretty bonkers, and eventually this leads our party to a tomb where Barkley picks up a second basketball of enormous power. And he learns a skill that allows him to yield 2 basketballs at once. Big deal. Shit, I can do that. The final area takes place on a goddamn spaceship. Now, I don't want to spoil the ending for you, and I left a lot out, including a dating sim portion, poetry writing, the basketball dimension, and a ton of other crazy shit that you just have to discover for yourself. Now, let me talk to you about grinding. One of the biggest video game turnoffs for me is when a game requires a lot of grinding. Grinding is when you have to constantly repeat or engage in non-progression events to gain enough resources, like experience or money, in order to get stronger or earn better equipment. In my opinion, grinding should never be a required aspect of a game. In other words, you shouldn't be forced to grind in order to progress through any game. In the Dark Souls series, I never had to grind to beat progression events, because the game rewards skill and allows you to take different paths if the one you're on is too hard for you. Other games like Fallout or the Elder Scrolls series have a ton of side content that allows you to earn resources through quests. Obviously, turn-based RPGs are a little bit different. In another turn-based RPG that I've looked at recently, Cthulhu Saves the World, there's a mechanic where you will have 20 random battles in each new area, after which you can turn random battles off in the area if you want to just progress. Pace is my biggest concern when playing turn-based RPGs. Since this game is so easy, but more importantly, since there's a set number of enemy encounters, you won't get bogged down in repetitive combat. If this game did have a pacing issue, I'd feel very differently about it. But while not a great game to play, it's an overall fun experience. It's funny, has awesome music if you can get it to work, and best of all, it's free. I've included a link in the description, and I encourage you to download it and play it, especially if you're a fan of 90s era basketball or Space Jam. Charles Barkley's Shut Up and Jam Gaiden is pretty nice. Thank you for joining me, and remember, as always, if you can't say anything nice,